Rise and shine, bugs and slugs. There's a brand new episode of The Mourning Show for you to devour. Join me, Amelia Mortem, as we peel back the layers of history to uncover some truly eerie, old-timey medical remedies, where the boundaries between cure and curse blur. We'll sink our teeth into the chilling origins of vampire folklore, tracing back to a disease that fed our fascination with the undead and left us haunted by the tales of bloodlust for generations. And we'll unravel the peculiar legacy of a serial bigwig, one that extends far beyond the breakfast table and casts a gloomy influence on the world of medicinal treatments. We'll delve into the disturbing treatment once thought to alleviate anguish of the mind, leading us to question the very nature of pain and healing. But that's not all. We'll step into the eerie footsteps of the resurrectionist, a figure shrouded in darkness whose 19th century career will chill you to the bone. We'll explore the dark corridors of history, peering through the mists of time to unravel the secrets of Victorian-era cures that will leave you astounded, bewildered, and perhaps even sleepless. So, my brave and curious friends, dim the lights, draw the curtains, and gather around the flickering screen. Prepare to be transported to an age where the uncanny met the mundane, where the line between medicine and the macabre was as thin as a whisper on the wind. Let's kick things off with a look at the news. In the dark corners of Reedley, California, something sinister was lurking: a secret, illegal medical lab. City code enforcement officers began their investigation back in March, uncovering a downtown warehouse with exposed electrical units and suspicious holes in the walls, a setup that seems almost too eerie to be real. The lab, run by an unlicensed outfit called Prestige Biotech, was operating without proper authorization and had taken over a defunct business. Months passed before authorities executed a warrant that unveiled the true horrors within the building inside. They stumbled upon a collection that reads like the stuff of nightmares: 773 lab mice and 178 deceased mice, vials and bags holding unsettling biological materials, including human blood and tissue infected with an array of diseases, including hepatitis and herpes. Even more unsettling, these specimens were stored among 35 refrigerators, all without power. The lab was reportedly also attempting to produce its own COVID-19 and pregnancy tests. The hazardous materials were safely removed last month after a 3-day operation by the Fresno County Department of Public Health. State and federal agencies investigated, and potential penalties for the owners remain unclear. The unauthorized lab was a concern for health officials even before it gained public attention. Moving forward, the city of Fresno has denied a permit for the company running the lab to operate at a new location, which is great news, but still some are concerned that the lab's secret operation and subsequent bust could give rise to strange medical conspiracy theories. Hold on to your handkerchiefs, folks, because this tale will make you think twice about stifling a sneeze. A very well-mannered Brit decided to be a sneeze superhero by holding in a mighty achoo. But guess what? Instead of a round of applause, he ends up with a hole blown right through his throat. The story, straight out of a medical horror flick, unfolded in a report from the British Medical Journal titled "Snap, Crackle, and Pop: When Sneezing Leads to Crackling in the Neck." Imagine this poor chap, a previously healthy 34-year-old, strutting into the emergency room with a voice that sounded like it was auditioning for a ghostly choir. The cause? A potent sneeze. He confessed to pinching his nose and sealing his mouth to trap the sneeze, and bam, a popping sensation, swelling in the neck, and probably a whole lot of regret. The man experienced a spooky voice change, a sensation like bubble wrap in his neck, and swelling. Now, here's the twist. No fever, no weird meals, and definitely no sharp objects swallowed. Medical professionals investigated and found streaks of trapped air in his throat tissue. This trapped air trauma is usually reserved for action-packed scenes involving stabbings, surgeries, or violent infections. Luckily for him, the man didn't need a dramatic surgery. A feeding tube and a dose of antibiotics did the trick, and his symptoms faded into the night. The moral of this story is that whatever you do, you had better not hold in a sneeze. In our segment, Brains, we drill deep into the human psyche and pull out some darkly fascinating concepts related to psychology and mental health. This morning, sticking with the theme, we present to you the so-called treatments offered to or inflicted upon folks suffering from mental ailments in bygone eras. Let's go to field expert Ingrid Gold for a look at trephination.
Trephination is a surgical technique that involves creating a small hole in the skull. Throughout history, it's been practiced in various cultures and periods for a range of reasons. Despite its mysterious and often ritualistic connotations, historical evidence suggests that some trephination procedures were successful and relatively safe. One notable application of trephination was in the treatment of mental illness. Ancient civilizations, including Greeks and Romans, believed that creating an opening in the skull could alleviate symptoms of madness and melancholy. In the European medical tradition, trephination was occasionally recommended for individuals suffering from mental disorders, especially conditions such as mania and melancholy. Physicians believed that drilling a hole in the skull could then allow noxious material to escape and alleviate the symptoms associated with these disorders. The reasoning behind this approach was somewhat empirical. The symptoms of mental illness were often described in terms of pressure or pounding sensations within the head. Trephination was seen as a way to release this pressure and restore balance. However, the outcomes of trephination for treating mental illness were mixed. While some patients may have experienced temporary relief or placebo effects due to the procedure, trephination was not a reliable or effective treatment for mental disorders. In many cases, trephination likely caused additional trauma to the patient without addressing the underlying causes of their condition. As medical understanding advanced and the true complexities of mental illness became clearer, trephination fell out of favour as a treatment option. The introduction of more effective medical therapies, as well as the development of psychotherapy and psychiatric medications, rendered trephination obsolete in the realm of mental health treatment. Today, mental illnesses are understood to have multifactorial causes that require comprehensive, evidence-based interventions. The practice of trephination has resurfaced in modern times, with some advocating for enhancing brain blood volume and improved brain function. However, this resurgence has sparked debate and concerns about safety and its effectiveness. While trephination was once used in a variety of conditions, it's important to note that modern medicine has evolved significantly since then. Trephination is no longer a common therapeutic procedure. Instead, it's considered a historical practice with limited application in specific medical cases, such as relieving intracerebral pressure or accessing the brain for diagnostic or surgical procedures.
Thanks, Ingrid. In this installment of Spooky Jobs, we're digging into a grim, old-timey profession, a career path that you thankfully can't embark on today as it no longer exists, but an interesting one nonetheless. In the 19th century emerged the resurrectionists, a term that sounds fancy but refers to the body snatchers of the time. These individuals were engaged in the eerie practice of pilfering human remains from graveyards, often under contracts with esteemed physicians of the Victorian era. Before 1832, the sole source of bodies for medical study were those executed, but a growing fascination with human dissection prompted a demand for fresh specimens. Resurrectionists, or resurrection men, were enlisted by anatomists during the 18th and 19th centuries to exhume the bodies of the recently deceased. Back then, only a limited number of cadavers were available annually for anatomical research. These grave robbers were perceived as the lowest rung of society, provoking significant public outrage. Laws were eventually enacted to curb their grisly trade, but a need for bodies persisted for educational purposes until the early 20th century. As society's interest in anatomy grew, so did the requirement for corpses. Initially, the bodies of hanged felons were granted to anatomists in 1752, but with more medical schools springing up, a black market for stolen bodies emerged. Resurrectionists devised clever methods to retrieve bodies, such as dragging corpses out with ropes tied around their necks or tunneling bodies out without disturbing the graves. Decomposing cadavers required frequent replacement in the absence of refrigeration, and curious surgeons conveniently overlooked the origins of their fresh supplies. Some even saw the practice as a necessary evil for advancing life-saving research, such as refining surgical techniques that led to reduced blood loss, distress, and infection rates. We hope we've shed some light on a dark chapter in history, where the macabre actions of resurrectionists intertwined with the pursuit of medical knowledge, culminating in a fascinating yet unsettling part of the Victorian era. This morning's familiar is the leech, a fascinating member of the subclass Hirudinea. With an impressive diversity of around 650 distinct species, these segmented worms have managed to capture the imagination of both scientists and storytellers alike. Their defining features include a small sucker at the anterior end of the body, housing their mouth, and a larger sucker located at the posterior end. These unique creatures display a remarkable symmetry, with 34 body segments, and their sizes span the spectrum from minuscule to striking lengths of up to 20 centimeters, 8 inches, or even more when stretched to their limits. While leeches are commonly associated with freshwater environments and terrestrial habitats, some species defy the norm, venturing into marine realms. The Amazon rainforest boasts an inhabitant of note, the giant Amazon leech, a standout member of its kind, stretching up to an astonishing half-meter, about 18 inches. This leech wields a proboscis measuring around 15 centimeters or 6 inches, akin to a hypodermic needle, enabling it to skillfully extract blood from its unsuspecting host. One of the most intriguing aspects of leech behavior lies in their feeding habits. Armed with 3 jaws, complete with sharp teeth, these creatures create a Y-shaped incision in their prey's flesh. The remarkable aspect of their feeding process lies in their saliva, which contains a cocktail of substances that serve to anesthetize the wound area, dilate blood vessels to increase blood flow, and prevent the blood from clotting. Among these substances is the anticoagulant hirudin, a valuable extract derived from the European medicinal leech, which has proven invaluable in medical applications for preventing blood clots after surgical procedures. Remarkably, other chemicals sourced from Amazonian leeches hold the ability to dissolve existing blood clots, further underscoring their potential medical importance. But leeches are not only renowned for their medical contributions, they've also earned a place in history as quirky inhabitants of both land and water. On land, they adopt an almost theatrical stance, poised with one end in the air to await their unsuspecting victims. This behavior, combined with their enigmatic appearance, lends itself well to the eerie charm that permeates the leash's presence. From their role in medical advancements to their peculiar behaviors, the leech stands as a testament to the intriguing variety within the animal kingdom. Whether lurking beneath the waters or poised for action on the forest floor, these creatures continue to evoke both curiosity and a sense of intrigue. And in horrid history, we've got the dirty details on the legacy of the man behind your favorite breakfast cereal. Of course, you know cornflakes and probably a few more of the staggering 36 total types of cereals sold by Kellogg's today. But were you aware of Kellogg's dark history? John Harvey Kellogg was a notable figure associated with the Battle Creek Sanitarium in Michigan. This renowned Adventist health resort was established in the aftermath of the Civil War and aimed to provide holistic wellness based on Seventh-day Adventist principles. Kellogg, a physician, initially played a role in the creation of the Western Health Reform Institute in 1866, which later evolved into the Battle Creek Sanitarium in 1876. Under his guidance, the sanitarium expanded to become a medical center, spa, and hotel. Kellogg's treatments and ideas range from an innovative to peculiar. He advanced biologic living that combined medical knowledge with religious beliefs. Some of his innovative ideas included rational hydrotherapy, light therapy, and nutrition-focused treatments. However, some of his methods, now seen as eccentric or even barbaric, included excessive chewing of food, electric light baths, sinusoidal current treatments, continuous tub baths lasting for extended periods, and yogurt enemas. Kellogg was an advocate of abstinence and dietary restrictions, which were informed by his Seventh-day Adventist faith. He also experimented with various devices and contraptions, such as vibrating chairs and machines designed for exercise and stimulation. He became known for his opposition to masturbation, suggesting extreme measures like circumcision without anesthesia for boys, and applying carbolic acid or even surgical removal for girls. While Kellogg's legacy includes the creation of cornflakes and the popularization of granola as a medicinal food, his treatments and ideas have been widely criticized as bizarre and unscientific, leading to a mixed reputation. The Battle Creek Sanitarium, despite facing financial difficulties and changes over the years, played a significant role in the promotion of holistic wellness during its time. As a quirky and complicated historical figure, John Harvey Kellogg's contributions to wellness and medicine are remembered, although some of his methods are now viewed with both fascination and incredulity. This morning in Dark Tourism, we're checking out 10 haunted hospitals around the world. Let's go to Ingrid Gold, who has all the best medical haunts mapped out.
Old Royal Victoria Hospital, Montreal, Canada. Located in the heart of Montreal, the Old Royal Victoria Hospital has a long history of eerie occurrences. Closed since 2015, the abandoned corridors and wards are said to be haunted by former patients, creating an unsettling atmosphere that draws paranormal enthusiasts. Royal Hope Hospital, Florida, USA. Royal Hope Hospital in Florida stands as a symbol of both medical history and ghostly legend. The decaying remains of this once bustling institution are rumoured to be frequented by spectral nurses and patients, making it a chilling destination for those seeking an otherworldly experience. Severals Hospital in England. Severals Hospital, a sprawling psychiatric facility in England, harbours a dark past. Its dilapidated buildings and gloomy corridors are believed to have been inhabited by the restless spirits of patients who suffered there, creating an eerie ambience that beckons ghost hunters and curiosity seekers. Sai Ying Pun Psychiatric Hospital, Hong Kong. Sai Ying Pun, a psychiatric hospital in Hong Kong, has become infamous for its mysterious and unsettling atmosphere. Abandoned for decades, the hospital's history of treating the mentally ill adds to its haunted reputation, with visitors claiming that to have encountered unexplainable phenomena. Ararat Lunatic Asylum, Australia. Once a place of confinement for the mentally ill, the Ararat Lunatic Asylum in Australia now stands as a chilling reminder of its troubled past. With stories of apparitions, disembodied voices, and the inexplicable footsteps of unknowns, the asylum has earned its reputation as a hotspot for ghostly encounters. Taunton State Hospital's imposing architecture and storied history as a mental health institution contribute to its haunting allure. Closed since 1975, the lingering echoes of the past are said to manifest from its eerie shadows, strange noises, and unsettling apparitions. Waverly Hills Sanatorium, Kentucky, USA. Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Kentucky is a notorious location for paranormal activity. With a high mortality rate during the tuberculosis epidemic, the hospital is believed to house numerous spirits. Shadowy figures, phantom nurses, and unexplained noises have solidified its reputation as a haunted site. Eloise Complex, Michigan, USA. The Eloise Complex in Michigan is a sprawling, abandoned complex that includes a hospital, mental asylum, and more. Its dark past, along with reports of ghostly manifestations, make it a favourite haunt for ghost hunters and thrill seekers looking to experience the supernatural. Kinderkrankenhaus, Berlin, Germany. The Kinderkrankenhaus in Berlin, Germany stands as a chilling reminder of the past. Once a children's hospital during World War II, it is said to be inhabited by the spirits of young patients. Visitors have reported eerie sounds and apparitions, making it a spine-tingling destination for those interested in dark history. King Seat Psychiatric Hospital in New Zealand. King Seat Psychiatric Hospital has a history of treating mental health patients, and its abandoned buildings now host unsettling stories of paranormal activity. With reports of ghostly apparitions and strange occurrences, the hospital has captured the attention of ghost hunters and urban explorers alike.
In spooky shopping, you need to check out these amazing anatomical human heart earrings by Lab Partners Jewelry. From their website, these earrings are simplified but anatomically correct illustrations of a heart. They are chic, stylish, and elegant, 100% fabulous, 0% cute. Lab Partners notes that they would make a great gift for anyone in the medical profession, a friend with a heart of gold, or get some for your spooky self because nothing matches black better than clear. Get yours for $22 on labpartnersjewelry.com. Here's your recommended reading for this week.
In Strange Medicine, Nathan Bolofsky takes readers on a gripping journey through the annals of medical history, unearthing the astonishing and often unsettling practices that have been employed across the ages. From ancient remedies to bizarre treatments, Bolofsky's exploration sheds light on the ever-evolving world of medicine and the shocking methods that were once considered viable solutions for ailments. Quackery by Lydia Kang and Nate Peterson provides a fascinating glimpse into the realm of misguided medical interventions that have captivated human imagination over time. Through engaging anecdotes and historical accounts, Kang and Peterson unveil a myriad of ill-conceived attempts to cure various afflictions, offering both amusement and insight into the human pursuit of wellness through unconventional means. T.C. Boyle's The Road to Wellville immerses readers in a humorous yet thought-provoking narrative set in Dr. John Harvey Kellogg's unconventional sanitarium. Against the backdrop of early 20th century health fads, Boyle weaves a satirical tale that intertwines the lives of diverse characters seeking health, happiness, and the elusive notion of well-being in a rapidly changing world. The Conspiracy Against the Human Race by Thomas Ligotti ventures into the philosophical abyss where Ligotti dissects the human experience with a blend of existential contemplation and chilling pessimism. Through introspective essays, Ligotti invites readers to confront the darker aspects of existence, probing the nature of consciousness, suffering, and the unsettling realization of our own mortality. Drew Magari's The Postmortal envisions a future transformed by the discovery of a cure for aging, plunging society into uncharted territory. Magari crafts a riveting exploration of the ethical, social, and psychological dilemmas that arise when humanity grapples with the concept of immortality. Through the lens of a world forever changed, he delves into the individual and collective repercussions of an ageless existence.
And a list of films to fit the topic of this week's episode.
In A Cure for Wellness, a young executive is sent to retrieve his company's CEO from a mysterious wellness center in the Swiss Alps, but uncovers disturbing secrets about the facility. Hysteria. Set in the 19th century, this romantic comedy follows the invention of the vibrator as a treatment for hysteria in women, leading to unexpected romantic and societal changes. Strange Blood. A brilliant scientist's experiment goes awry, turning him into a vampire with unique powers and a thirst for revenge against those who wronged him. The Ward. A young woman is committed to a psychiatric hospital where she becomes haunted by a vengeful ghost while trying to uncover the truth about her fellow patients. The Eye. After receiving a cornea transplant, a blind woman begins experiencing disturbing visions that lead her to uncover a series of unsettling mysteries.
In the early 19th century, long before Bram Stoker's Dracula, John Polidori published The Vampire. Stoker's iconic novel shaped our perception of vampires, but the folklore behind them originated in the Balkan region. Stoker, influenced by Hungarian writer Armin van Buuren, penned Dracula's character based on Vlad the Impaler. The vampire myth partly stemmed from the blood disorder porphyria, common among Eastern European nobility, causing sensitivity to sunlight, fang-like teeth, and other symptoms. Folklore assumed they drank blood, leading to vampire tales. The aversion to garlic, lack of reflection, and crucifix fear also tied into the medical condition. While porphyria's cause was misunderstood, modern understanding fosters care for those affected, although the connection between porphyria and vampire folklore remained largely unknown during Stoker's time. This morning in Macabre Mixology, we're serving up the Sazerac, a cocktail invented by a pharmacist who recommended the drink as a medicinal tonic. Make sure to hit subscribe down below so you never miss an episode. Don't miss our podcast, Morning After Dark. New episodes drop every other Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Tune into tonight's episode for even more unsettling old-timey medical treatments. Keep in touch with Ingrid and I and get access to non-stop creepy content by following The Morning Show on each and every social media platform. That's it, that's all. Now get out of here, scram.